Fred Poston is Vice President for Operations Services for the CBS division of the Viacom CBS Corporation. A native of Houston and a graduate of Klein Forest High School, Mr. Poston's achievements as an SFA student were early indicators of his career success. He was president of his fraternity, Theta Chi, and president of SFA's Interfraternity Council. He was part of a team from the College of Business that beat out universities from across the state, winning first place in a marketing competition sponsored by Apple Computer. After earning a Bachelor of Business Administration at SFA in 1992, Mr. Poston decided to shoot for the stars, traveling to California where he landed a job with the Dick Clark Productions. Although he began in the mailroom making $40 a day, he worked hard and his career has taken him from the East Coast to the West Coast and from South America to Asia. Always motivated and driven, Fred Poston set and met personal milestones he established for himself. A member of the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, Vice President by 30, Senior Vice President by 40, and he's played a role in the network origination of more than 100 channels in over 40 countries and in 20 languages. Prior to the COVID-19 pandemic, he commuted to work each week in Los Angeles from his home in San Marcos, and his expertise at managing his work from afar has been particularly beneficial during these past 6 months. We appreciate his willingness to provide a message today for the class of 2020.
Hello graduates, congratulations. I'm coming to you from the Board of Regents Conference Room here at Stephen F. Austin. Funny, up until today, my nearly 30-year career in entertainment media has been behind the camera, with a couple of exceptions of non-speaking appearances, though what an honor it is to be with you here today. Ideally, we'd want to be together to celebrate your amazing achievement, but just think of the story this experience will be for you to tell for the rest of your life. Speaking of stories, I would like to share mine with you, and hopefully it'll provide encouragement for you to be excited for what comes next. Imagine, if you will, 1992. There were the Rodney King riots in Los Angeles, and the country was in a recession. I had been a leader at SFA. I was very involved with student activities beyond my studies. I was president of my fraternity chapter, president of IFC, and participated in the prestigious competition organized by a company named Apple Computers, which, by the way, the SFA team won. Just a year or two before I graduated, most everyone I knew had jobs waiting for them upon graduation. However, despite my best efforts to find a position, the economy had other ideas and corporations had slowed down on their college recruitment efforts. In my immediate family, I was the first generation to complete my college education, so the celebrations were many when I received my diploma. Then the reality of what was to become next came into focus. I decided to return to my parents' home in Houston and continue my job search. Since my phone wasn't ringing off the hook, I quickly realized I had to take a completely different approach. I got a job working for a couple of weeks in a coffee factory in Houston to make travel money and made my way west to Los Angeles. Pretty quickly after being in Los Angeles, I landed a position in the mailroom at Dick Clark Productions for $40 a day. And I assure you, that did not pay the bills in Los Angeles, but what it did do was provide incredible motivation. Now that I had my foot in the door of the entertainment industry, I quickly realized that it's a business of telling stories, and I had to figure out where I fit in this industry. Whether it's comedy, drama, reality, documentary, news, or sports, it's all storytelling. The daily news cycle is ever changing, one story to the next. One wins a competition, someone's hopes are dashed. TV series begin and end, but whatever you do, don't change that channel. Working in the mailroom for a few months gave me a great opportunity to interact with different departments, and I met a lot of interesting people. My timing was good in that Hollywood award season was about to begin at Dick Clark Productions, and I got my first production assistant job on the 50th Annual Golden Globe Awards, an amazing first show that brought together both the movie and television industries and celebrities together in one room. This marked the beginning of my career working in live television shows. I must have done my job well, because in live TV there's no editing, and if there's a mistake, it's seen by many. So it was a great foundation for learning how to be a part of a team who had to do things right the first time. As I'm sure many of you have asked, more times than you might like, what are you going to do after graduation? Well, I had to really answer that question again after a few years of production managing a number of shows. I had to decide the next chapter of my career, and I decided I wanted to move from the production side of the business to the network side of the business. No sooner than I had put that out to the universe, I had learned through my professional network that Warner Brothers was creating what was to be the 5th national broadcast network, the WB Television Network, which many of you now know as the CW. The executives that created this network had previously created Fox Broadcasting, so it was the perfect opportunity to learn all aspects of building a TV network. This became a career game changer. From the WB, I moved over to Fox Family, which was purchased by Disney and eventually became relaunched as ABC Family. That was followed by a stint with TV Guide to help launch a video-on-demand business that was the beginning of what we now know as video streaming services. After that, I was off to another startup, Reels Channel. So at this point, you probably think this guy can't keep a job. But as you'll soon learn, making good connections, building up a professional network, and nurturing those relationships can be the secret to success. Now back to our program. As it turned out, Reels Channel was a career milestone that allowed me to take everything I had learned from my production days, along with what I had learned working for the other networks, and then be able to create something from the ground up. While the WB was a startup, we were under the umbrella of Warner Brothers. Fox Family and ABC Family were subsidiaries of Fox and Disney. At Reels Channel, everyone hired brought their individual expertise and resources to create a cable channel from scratch, without the corporate depth to bail us out if things had not gone exactly as the business plan was written. While the launch of Reels Channel was a success to over 42 million homes, the story of Reels Channel took an unexpected turn after the 2008 economic recession. And as the first person hired to bring this channel to air, I also had to be the last person to close the LA-based studios and offices that we had built and relocate them out of state. Essentially, I found myself once again looking for my next chapter. It's been said that the entertainment industry is all about who you know, which, by the way, can apply to every industry. And if there was ever a time to know the value of a good professional network, that time was never more important than during the Great Recession. Fortunately, thanks to my professional network, I was called upon to help launch another network named The Hub, a joint venture with Discovery Communications and Hasbro. That led to overseeing Discovery's LA regional operations that included OWN, the Oprah Winfrey Network, and a 3D channel named 3Net, followed by additional oversight duties of Discovery's post-production operations in the Washington, D.C. area. Then out of the blue, I was asked by my boss to take a 1-month assignment in Discovery's Latin American offices located in Miami. That month turned into multiple years overseeing the local regional expansion of offices and operations in Argentina, Brazil, and Mexico. After those operations were successfully up and running, what's next came to the unexpected form of an Asia-Pacific assignment based in Singapore. After Asia, I decided to take a break to work on the next chapter of my story and return to the States in 2017, making Texas my home once again. In 2018, after reconnecting with a former boss at an industry convention in Las Vegas, an opportunity came about to oversee operations for CBS in Los Angeles, which until the global pandemic set in, found me commuting weekly between the Austin airport and LAX. Through all of this, I have managed to oversee operations for over 100 channels in 40 countries and 20 different languages. Had you told me in 1992 in Nacogdoches, Texas, this would be your story, I might have had a hard time believing you. Now, what would a good television story be without end credits or an acceptance speech? So here at Stephen F. Austin, many thanks to Dr. Gordon for asking me to be with you here today, Dr. Marlene Kalin in the School of Business, and Dr. Steve Westbrook with University Affairs, who participated in my education and development during and after graduation. My spouse, family, and friends, and a cast and crew of thousands across the globe that I've been fortunate to work with through the years. Now, to wrap this up, as you can see, there are a lot of twists and turns, redirects, and jump cuts. When I entered the workplace, there was still a predominant business culture that one could have a job for life. I entered an industry whose product was stories, and in keeping with its core product, a culture of constant change was the norm. Expect the unexpected. Start somewhere. Set your sights on what you want to do, whether in line with where you have been and know or not. Few things get a start with no action. Give whatever you're doing your all and see where those efforts lead you. Accept change and make sure that you make every effort not to get discouraged along the way. While these are certainly unprecedented times we are living through, remember one thing. No matter where you are right now, you as an individual have not changed. You have worked hard for your achievements, and while in life's journey not everything will go how you may envision it, no one can take away the incredible achievement of completing your education. Now go, write your story, keep it interesting, and enjoy the show. Best of luck to you all.